Grim news coming in from New Zealand as well. A gunman entered two mosques and carried out shooting with automatic weapons in Christchurch. Multiple casualties were inflicted in the shooting at these two mosques. One suspect has been taken into custody while the police believes there are other offenders at large. The New Zealand police has also locked down all schools in the area and has issued an advisory urging people to stay off the streets and report any suspicious behavior. The Bangladesh cricket team was in the vicinity during the shooting incident, but all players are safe. They had a narrow escape. The firing was still on in a local mosque when the players escaped. In fact, now the Bangladesh cricket team board has cancelled their test match against New Zealand after the shooting incident. Remember, a very disturbing aspect of this shooting where the gunman was in fact seen going in wearing a camera and live casting this entire shooting event.
I saw one gun in the floor and police was stopping here. There was a lot of people die injured. Oh, there was around 1:45. I was stopped right. I heard the big sound, the gun, and the second one I heard, I ran. Lots of people were sitting in the floor. The gun was around the door. I ran behind the mosque. And I sitting behind the container. I rang to the police.
It has occurred in a place where people should have been expressing their religious freedom, where they should have been in a safe environment, and they have not been today. There is no place in New Zealand for such extreme acts of unprecedented violence. The people who were the subject of this attack today, New Zealand is their home. They should be safe here. The person who has perpetrated this violent act against them, they have no place in New Zealand society.
At this point of time, let me go across to my colleague GEETA Mohan, who is joining us with more details on this shooting. We'll also go across to consulting sports editor India Today, BORIA MAJUMDAR, on the repercussion of what this has, the situation which has taken place in New Zealand as far as the Bangladesh cricket team is concerned. GEETA, coming to you first, a very disturbing aspect of this entire incident is that it was live casted. The gunman went in wearing a camera, and what a horrific way, in fact, for these people to go in, shoot innocent, unarmed people and kill them.
Absolutely, Ankit. Horrific visuals that were taken out by Twitter and Facebook, where they were live streaming the entire time that they were inside that mosque, not one but two. So we know the community that was being targeted over here. But it certainly was not the Bangladesh cricket team as of now, given the fact that they've not even entered the mosque, and if the man knew that the Bangladesh team were to be there, then they would have waited for the team to enter the mosque. It was during prayer time, so there were quite a few people over there offering their prayers. Casualty numbers are only going to increase because some of them are severely injured, is what the reports from New Zealand are saying. At this time, like Prime Minister of New Zealand has said, that this is the darkest hour for New Zealand. It is an unprecedented, the witnessing of this unprecedented form of violence. Certainly not calling it a terrorist attack yet, or even calling it hate crime, being very careful, chose her words. But the situation certainly continues to remain live. One person is in custody. One will have to wait and see whether if more have been caught, and if there were more at all. We know that the man had come in a car well prepared. All the arms and ammunitions were placed in the car, and before leaving, he wore a camera on his headgear, and then entered the mosque. The fact that it's not one but two in the same vicinity is very clear that he was choosing a particular area with a certain type of community living there.
GEETA, just stay on with me because I just also want to understand from you what are the latest details which are coming in as far as this case is concerned. BORIA Majumdar with us. BORIA, the Bangladesh cricket team, they had a very narrow escape. This is something that we could only hear a few years back in Pakistan or possibly once or twice in Sri Lanka. Now New Zealand also target of such terror acts.
Absolutely. In fact, I spoke to my sources in the BCD and a couple of players in New Zealand, and Some of them ran through Hagley Park, some of them went back to the hotel, some of them went to the stadium, got themselves into the dressing room, and they're all visibly shaken. As I said on Aajtak about an hour and a half back, that the tour would be cancelled. Exactly that's what has transpired, because the Bangladesh board asked the players what they want to do and not one want to play. Because they feel that their security is not paramount at this point in time. I spoke to ICC also, and ICC echoes the same sentiment that player security is paramount. At this point in time, that's not true. I mean, there is no guarantee to player security at this point in time in Christchurch. So as GEETA was saying, I mean, this was one of the most dastardly actions in New Zealand. Having sort of been there, lived there for a while in Dunedin and Christchurch, in academic assignments, I can tell you, one of the most peaceful cities. I mean, suddenly you see it. And for a cricket tour, Bangladesh players were about to enter. Within 10 minutes, they were about to enter there. And some of them ran through Hagley at that point.
Okay.
The targets of attack. That was not the case. And the only good thing is,
right,
all players are safe.
Okay, BORIA, GEETA, thank you so much.